This elementary school teacher, an elderly man, has been teaching for almost ever. And recently, I'm not sure what lead they got, but the police began to investigate him for lewd and lascivious behavior towards these elementary students. Apparently, he had a bondage routine with them. Would blindfold them and do a taste test for them tasting semen. I mean, these kids they never had any taste like that, so I'm not sure what was the point. But they were able to find some samples, I think in the garbage and so on. I don't know how they were led to the whole incident, but they found in the garbage his semen, and it's traced back through DNA to him and so on. And they arrested him. He's fired and so forth. He was teaching at Miramonte Elementary School in Southern California. Now they're going back way at 95. I think one young lady has come forward saying that he sort of fondled her. Now I remember teaching in elementary school. These young children, maybe the parents working, they don't know their home situation. Many of them are puberty and so forth. I avoid hugging them. I avoid having conversations with one or any. I remember I was teaching at a school in the school district, Agua Dulce, and the kids went out to play soccer, and there was another teacher, and I went back in to me on the computer to check some stuff, and the custodian, came in as if he's looking at something and so forth. He just came in to see if kids were in there and whether I was, violating them or whatever, but everybody was out playing, and I don't play that. I don't play with kids. Even outside of the school, I hardly try to relate to people, kids. I mean, can you imagine a black guy talking to some white kid on the side of the road right away? People are going to be calling and saying that I'm trying to kidnap them or whatever. I had an experience in Toronto where I lifted this white guy, and I was going into my office and I saw him, and I just lifted him up, and that was a big deal. And so I just avoid putting my hands on people's kids. Where I recycle, there are two boys. They're rude and so on, but I'm not going to scold them. I just try to avoid them. They never recycled, but this day they were recycling. And I came up and I saw them. I just went and I sat down and I let them do all they want when they finish. But then I started, and then they come back now fighting me for a bag. I say, no man, just go away, bro. Because you left and it's my turn, so just go on. And they always come and tell me, you're not supposed to be there and this and that, but I don't want any conversation with them. I don't want them to have to go and say something that I didn't do, because many times kids will be believed, especially against a black guy. And in other schools, I had other situations. This guy wanted to come in middle school and use the computer. So I said, well, if 4 or 5 others want to come in, no problem, but just one, no, I don't want no problems like that. I'm not sure why an elderly man like this would want to be molesting kids. I mean, they don't have the experience. And what sort of fun is there going to be with some people who are kind of like don't have a clue what's happening? Or if they do, they don't have the level of expertise and maturity that is required for those things. With the increase in evil men and evil people, they're bringing some terror to these kids, and nobody seems to be understanding that evil is dangerous. They're just saying, "Oh, it's so wonderful," huh? But evil is bad. And if you ain't checking out, this guy might have molested so many people that it's going to be amazing. Maybe they give him the rest of his life in prison. And he was so trusting that they will invite him to important junctures in these young people's lives. Though some parents were skeptical of how he behaved towards children, maybe in a kind of way they could see this sort of pervertedness coming through. And some neighbors were saying that he would be riding with young girls on tandem bike and so on, But hey, he's a white guy, he's a teacher, and the kids come in and they're laughing and happy, I guess. And nobody was able to discover this until they were able to do a forensic thing this is something different from the old deed. Because even the young lady who had been molested in around 9 to 5, I mean, she's old enough now, she could have, complain and say what was happening. But I guess sometimes when such pillars in this community, important, significant others, violate the rules and the norms and the laws, sometimes it's hard to wrap your mind around that this could be real, and they'll doubt the kids perhaps, and so the kids don't want to get there. You see, so it's good though that they were able to stop him, because I mean, he has abused enough, and more would have just been horrible, more horrible as it were. So I hope that individuals will get serious and smart and stop destroying the future.